not right now. I'm busy at the moment. I'll get to you very soon, okay? Oh, but Garbar, I'm bored. Alright, let's go play.
Yay!
Garbar, right? Yeah, I've heard about him. I do know he was very super friendly with kids. And, they really loved him. They really loved to hang out with him and play with him. But the one problem there was is that Garbar did not want to have the time to spend time with them and wanted to focus more on his project. And that is only essentially because, is what I've heard, he was very depressed. He was going through a hard life and he wanted to get his project done as soon as possible so nobody beats his dream, because this was his dream, his idea, and he was very, very, very compassionate on that dream. So whenever someone would ask him, hey Garbar, do you want to play with me? He would kindly say yes, but sometimes get overstressed. So because of that situation, it made him feel weaker inside, like he was being tortured, making him see that people don't really love him, but just love him to be played with, to get attention from. And that is mostly why a lot of people love Garbar, because he would always give them attention. But what I do know is that Garbar, he was very obsessed with having a girlfriend. And that is only because of the life he's gone through. Basically, his parents wouldn't help him when he needed their help. He would cry to them, but they would always see him as very odd and very unnormal. So in a way, especially from his siblings, his family loved him. It's just that they didn't love him the proper way that he needed that love. Okay? If you get what I'm saying. And especially his father, yeah, they were very, very harsh on him. His father used to beat him up a lot of times every time he would get very, very negative and stuff like that. So it essentially makes sense why he needed a relationship, why he wanted a relationship, and it's mostly because he wants to basically feel like he's wanted. And I get it, it's a red flag, it is 100% red flag, but some girls actually would agree to that. And unfortunately, that is what happened between him and his ex. His ex wanted him for his attention and his love. She didn't really love him like she cared about him for a meeting, because the way she acted by ghosting him and basically just smoking to herself each and every day, showing less love to him most of the time. It was very neglectful. It wasn't healthy in the relationship, and it drove him crazy. It drove him to the point where he felt that he was no longer loved by her anymore. But also, he also loved her because he wanted to feel that affection from her as well. So they both went through the same stuff, and it wasn't healthy. It's fine if one feels like that, but if both feels like that, it can't work. It can't click. But that's not what upset him. What upset him is that basically, like the other guy said, he basically never had that kind of love before. in many, many years of his life. He never got to experience a love like that. He never got to experience a friend having feelings for him. All the other people he's dated were actually just random people online who wanted to date him. They were never his friends. And when he started dating earlier, he didn't know any better. He was very young. He was like about 16, so and that's when he started dating his purple girlfriend. I can't remember her name, Inky or something like that. So because of that situation, it really led to something really, really bad. And Inky really abused him. A little more than his previous ex-girlfriend. Especially when he needed to talk to his girlfriend. She would just tell him to shut the fuck up, just like his previous ex-girlfriend and stuff like that, because his previous ex-girlfriend wanted him to get a lot of help, but he was very afraid to do that, but she kept forcing him to get help, and forcing him and threatening him to get help, and she kept yelling at him and calling him names. It was very heavy on him and very unhealthy on him. So I'm kind of glad they broke up in a way, but now he's just floating in midair. He's literally given up on every single relationship. Unfortunately, he's given up on projects, on love, mostly everything. But, hey, I mean, it's his choice. As sad as it is, he said he's not going to go back. He's not going back to that horrible life that he lived before. And he's too afraid of going through another breakup and losing more friends because of the breakup, because of his betrayal, his anger against that betrayal that his girlfriend constantly promised him. Like the other guy said, basically that she will stay with him no matter what, love him no matter what, even though, and that, again, that promise was basically falling apart. So, in a way, Garbar, he really cared about his friends, his girlfriend. It's just his mindset of all the stress, and especially losing the theme park, it drained him. It made him emotionally draining. And that's what his ex-girlfriend didn't like about him anymore, unfortunately. So, he basically told himself that he's no longer going to date anymore, or basically try to make more friends anymore, because he feels like he's too draining and too dangerous to be around anybody. Which I understand, which I really understand, but it's unfortunate. You know, it's just how life goes. Not everyone's life is easy. Well, that's all I have. Thank you.
I guess my invention's just gonna be beaten